pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. I am Robert Wilkins, and this is our 12th BeInformed Special Edition. I'm here on the Plains of Auburn on this rainy, late October day. Our title is Downtown Moratorium or Complete Overhaul after decades of neglect.
But it's just, this is a big deal, and I don't want to make any of this seem easy, because it's not. It's a big decision.
In relation to a moratorium, it's the same standard that the council would have before it for any development regulations. So in Alabama law, the council is charged with creating regulations for development within our own community. Alabama appellate courts have been very, very clear that they will not substitute their own opinions, their own judgment for that of a city council, so long as the city council's decisions are based on safety, health, and welfare considerations and are backed up by evidence, by data. Where Alabama appellate courts have struck down or even repealed ordinances that have been passed by local municipal governments related to development is when there's been no evidence or there's been no real safety, health, and welfare connection. Both of those kind of veer off into what the appellate courts call arbitrary and capricious decisions by the council. But so long as there is evidence, so long as there is data to support a decision, then Alabama appellate courts will allow that decision to stand from a general perspective.
So we're starting to see some changes from an infrastructure standpoint that we've not seen before. It is our job to obviously inform the city council when we're seeing data that we don't normally see in certain areas of town, especially combined with concerns being raised. In addition, we do have some stormwater challenges here and there. And so there's a few things brewing, particularly in the urban core and urban neighborhood west, that are a little bit challenging at the moment.
These hideous downtown Auburn skyscrapers, as I call them, are dotted from North Gay Street to West Glen to Genelda Avenue and to West Magnolia. Many of these student housing complexes are already managed by Auburn University. Then why the heck did the university not put them on their property instead of downtown property? This has made Auburn just another cookie-cutter city instead of a creative, unique city, while putting the loveliest village on the plains into the abyss.
It should not be a surprise. 8 years ago we had the Keep Auburn Lovely bunch that we tried to limit some development. The fact that we have traffic standstill and that we're approaching stormwater dispersion should not be a surprise to anybody.
Well, I know we got bad traffic problems downtown. We've had bad problems downtown for traffic for about 40 years now. I know there's a traffic problem, but why we all of a sudden think we ought to shut down do some drastic changes? I don't understand that totally. I mean, I might be for a moratorium if I have something to base it on.
We are at most of the intersections downtown during peak periods. We're at maximum, we're at failing levels of service. That's kind of our threshold and our measure is a level of service. And we have a lot of those that are failing.
You had to know this was coming. Kelly said that pretty well, I think. You put all them apartments down there, you're going to have traffic problems, and I'm excited to see what an expert says we can do about that traffic down there, because I'd really like to know. I don't know that I'm not an engineer, but I don't know there's much you can do to help downtown traffic at this point. The horse is kind of out the barn on that one.
A Nextdoor.com October 2024 poll was taken with 175 Auburn citizens participating. They were asked, what do you perceive as the number one issue in Auburn? They were given 6 choices. The overwhelming majority, 57%, said overbuilding of downtown, but not a single council member or the mayor responded during citizens' minutes presenting this poll. Also, our leaders over the decades have known that all these Auburn skyscrapers would cause terrible traffic issues, sewer and water issues, but ignored it. Why? Because they are weak, incompetent, and plain greedy. We've had incompetencies for decades by our mayors, city council members, city managers with their elite upper management teams. We have boards and planning commissions that are inbred and impotent, who do not even understand their real purpose. For decades, these politicians and upper management with the developers, contractors, and commercial realtors have destroyed building Auburn into a unique, envied city.
I'm all for that, and I think we do need to study it, but there's a lot more areas that need studying besides downtown. North Donahue Drive is I mean.
Yeah, they're all going to be studied as part of the citywide traffic
Four lane,
study.
I mean, I'm just a ex-retired police officer. I can tell you right now, North Donahue Drive needs to be 4 lanes all the way out there to 72. That intersection of 72 and Donahue needs to be fixed. The intersection at Longleaf and the South College needs to be fixed. No right-hand turn lane. It backs traffic up. I mean, we got a lot of, we want to talk about infrastructure. We got a lot of infrastructure we need to catch up on around the whole city. 260 Sugar Jordan Parkway ought to have a turn lane in it the whole way around. I don't know that it's nobody's fault, but it's there now. The whole city needs to be looked at and some improvements made.
If the city of Lafayette, Alabama can replace all of their city council members in one election cycle, so can Auburn. The citizens of Auburn need to stop electing career politicians by electing 4-year servants of the people. Replace them not only with citizens that care, but citizens who are willing to stand up for the citizens' rights. That means each of you need to go in your wards and select 1 or 2 or more citizens, or possibly yourself, that love their Auburn by using their own creative minds and standing up for we citizens.
Big dissatisfaction among our citizens, employees at the university, and so on. And we really do want students to live where it's walkable, but I think we need to make sure that we have the best regulatory framework in place from a health, safety, welfare perspective to do that. We have adequate infrastructure for, but in the eyes of our citizens, I'm not sure that they believe we have adequate transportation infrastructure for much of anything, particularly in the downtown area. There are not a lot of major tools in the toolbox to deal with aspects of that, but there are more about wider sidewalks, bike lanes, different signal technologies, and sometimes it would do us some good to have a little bit of time to review those.
To Chief Dawson's point, it kind of caught me as a surprise as well. It was the first time we'd actually heard it come out of the city manager's statements or the staff statements that we were at or near capacity was this past work session. So that to me is kind of a flashpoint, and that's why it's important to consider this now. I agree, Chief, that we need to make sure everybody is treated fairly, but the fact of the matter that it hadn't been brought up before as a serious shortfall or potential serious shortfall is what makes it now very important.
We did say we wanted density in this area, particularly urban neighborhood west. We're getting that. But if you've noticed, when you drive down Glen Avenue, we have 1,000,001 crosswalks that are quite robust.
The Auburn bureaucratic structure has to be broken down, starting with our controlling and manipulating city manager by not renewing her contract by the city council.
All right, so Ms. Whitten has put an idea out there that on the 3rd, which is a Monday, we would have a work session, that we would have a draft of this, and that the staff would bring to us more information for us to consider, and that this draft would be advertised to be on the meeting of the 4th, which is the next day. And then at that point in time, the city council has every option available, from approving to postponing to not taking any action on to turning down and denying.
The will of the Auburn people needs to become stronger than the will of the developers, commercial realtors, contractors, greedy companies, and greedy individuals. The light of hope has been lit. Let's make it burn for Auburn's future by attending the council meeting on November the 4th at 6 p.m., 141 Ross Street, to discuss Auburn's future. Be informed by joining Auburn's Voice on youtube.com or nextdoor.com or our new location, facebook.com. You can make a difference. Thanks. Councilman Taylor, Ward 1. Our number is 334-704-3970. Councilman Griswold, Ward 2. 256-975-8183. Mayor Pro Tem Whidden, Ward 3, 334-740-8575. Councilman Adams, Ward 4, 334-748-3198. Councilman Mormon, Ward 5, 334-748-3075. Councilman Parsons, Ward 6, 334-704-3657. Councilman Koblitz, Ward 7, 224-748-2920. And Councilman Dawson, Ward 8, 334-559-3021.
Be Informed campaign. And be informed.